Mayor Lapani.
Here.
Administrator Ferreira. Deputy Clerk Brake.
Present.
Attorney Willard.
Here. Please join me for salute to flag.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be advised that in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, that notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on September 14th, 2021. Before we begin the regular business of our meeting this evening, I will call for a moment of silence in remembrance of the 13 military men and women who were killed on Thursday, August 26th in Kabul, Afghanistan, who were assisting members of supporting Operation Freedom Sentinel. They were killed as a result of an enemy attack that occurred during non-combatant evacuation operations. Our thoughts and prayers are with their families and friends. We will also include the New Jersey residents who perished amid Tropical Storm Ida. Just yesterday, Governor Murphy increased the number from 27 to 30 related deaths. We'll now pause for remembrance of these souls. Thank you. There are no minutes to approve at this time. We're going to go slightly out of order this evening. I will start with some Tropical Storm Ida updates and information. But first off, thank you. We've said it a lot. It's kind of hollow, but it's really the only word I can say. But it's important to start out with expressing our gratitude to the many people who selfishly donated their time, their funds, and items to those who were impacted this past week by Tropical Storm Ida. First and foremost, as we've all want to thank the first responders who braved the storm and perilous conditions to rescue Hillsborough residents and travelers through our community from flooded areas. Without your heroic efforts, more lives most surely would have been lost. We are grateful for your heroism and dedication. Our volunteer firefighters and police officers were on countless calls, even days after the rain stopped, rescuing folks from high water. Here's a quick tip. If you can't see the line in the roadway or your headlights are underwater, you might want to turn around. But in all seriousness, it's not safe. Just go home. Go a different route. I mean, as you can see, it doesn't take long to be in trouble, and then you're risking yourself, your loved ones, and those who you don't even know that are being asked to come save you. But with that, the calls kept coming in. Even day after, while the sun was still shining, our volunteers were still being sent out to rescue individuals who drove into high water. We were thankful for their tireless dedication to our community, and I'm asking all of you to be cognizant not only of your own safety, but those as well. I think the final number, we were a little over about 115 or 120 water rescues that night. And remember, these are all volunteers who, they're not getting paid for this. They're just doing it because they love us and they love this community, as we all do. So just keep that in mind. But also, thank you to our residents who came out in record numbers to donate clothes, cleaning supplies, school supplies, food, personal items, toys, and other necessities to our residents in need. Also, thank you to Franklin Fire District for their generous donations. I would also be remiss if I didn't thank the team at Pinnacle Fitness for opening their shower facilities for any resident in need, and to Ed Torres, the manager of Lowe's, for being a great community partner and setting up a donation collection bin at Lowe's and organizing a bucket brigade. We're also grateful to the many volunteers, including members of Hillsborough Rotary Club, our own CAN volunteers, who not only spent hours sorting through and organizing the overwhelming amount of donations that were dropped off here at the municipal building, but also who assisted Hillsborough residents in need to help them find the necessary items. I'll just share a little story. We had a girl come in and show us a picture. Her whole house was basically underwater. Her name was Christine. They lost everything. And we took her by the hand. Actually, the CAN Network took her by the hand and just walked her around slowly at her pace to pick out the things she needed and encouraged her to take whatever she wanted. At first, she was a little shy and felt that she didn't want to take it. Just out of pride and maybe just shock still. But by the time she left there, she was so grateful, as I was, to our network people who just spent an hour plus with her, walking around, looking through clothes, looking through for the right size clothes for kids, for their mother, their father. And happily, she came back the next day with her parents and was able to get more. But that was the kind of stuff that we saw that you don't see, that our volunteers were caring and compassionate. No judgments, just what do you need? We're here to help. And that is what Hillsborough is. That is what makes Hillsborough great, amongst all the other things. But our community comes together like nobody else. And I'm very proud to be a part of that. And then Pam wrote here at the end, we are Borough strong. We're beyond Borough strong. We're Borough great. And I just want to thank all our volunteers that stayed through the weekends. It was a vacation weekend for most people, right? And they gave up their vacation to be here. So thank you to all who helped make our residents through a very difficult time. Follow that, we had a busy week here. The governor came down. Governor Phil Murphy was in Hillsborough on September 2nd to assess the damage of Tropical Storm Ida and to hold a press conference to inform the media and New Jersey residents about the state of emergency that was in place following the storm. Also in attendance were Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin, Congressman Tom Malinowski, Assemblyman Roy Fryman, myself, Deputy Mayor Frank Delcourt, Committeeman Doug Thompson, Committeewoman Jenny Erickson, and Committeeman Jeffrey Wright. I thank the governor for coming down and allowing us to take him down to ground zero to show him in person the strife that our residents were at and implore to him to get us the help that we need. Following that, we did have if you didn't see the news, we had a visit from the president. And I had the honor of meeting President Biden as he gave a press conference here in Hillsborough. And I was able to discuss Hillsborough's flooding issues with the president and participating in a Blue Acres buyout program, and my thoughts about what this town needs directly to him, the governor, and the director of FEMA in person, as well as Congressman Malinowski, Assemblyman Booker, and some other people. So I advocated what we needed in Hillsborough. I hope they listen. I can't go any higher than the president, so I don't know where else to go, but I will continue to fight for our residents and get the need that we deserve and our people need. Following my visit, President Biden, I was invited to interview with Jim Acosta on CNN, and we discussed the recent floods and events here in Hillsborough and my visit with the president. I reiterated to Jim Acosta the same thing I reiterated and told the president and the governor. But if you'd like to see the video, if you haven't, it's on the Hillsborough Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel. We do have a Tropical Storm Ida resource page. The Hillsborough Township now has a resource page on our website, which will give you important news, updates, including information about repairing your home, insurance claims, government relief, and more. You can access Tropical Storm Ida resource page at hillsborough-nj.org/Ida. And I'll just say, if you are having difficulty in any way, shape, or form getting the answers you need or getting online or whatever, please call our office. We are here to help. Finally, FEMA has 3 ways to apply for disaster relief. You can apply online FEMA@disasterassistance.org, through the FEMA app, or via phone, and I'm going to read the number, 800-621-3362. That's 800-621-3362. I would encourage anyone who has any thought that be eligible for FEMA, just open a claim. Worst they could tell you is no. So just open the claim and get the process started, because everyone was impacted some way, somehow with this storm. And that's all I have to say about the week that we had. I would like to close with thanking everyone, including everyone at this dais. We all were present and out there to help anyone who needed it. That's why it makes me proud to be up with this group of people and up here and in the building. The fight isn't over. We're not saying it's done. The recovery and the rebuilding process is just starting. So it's not over tonight. It's not even gonna be over next week. So we're here to help you out through however long it takes. We'll now move to other information that is important. We'll start with our committee reports from Committeewoman Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. So before I go into the reports from the different departments, I too just wanted to say that, being the first time up here, first year in service to the township, and going through an event that we went through just, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, actually, and seeing what I saw from the township and the employees was beyond touching, and it just really made me proud to be part of it. Seeing that the staff in town gave of their time out into the night, early into the morning, just to help the residents of Hillsborough was really touching. So I've been meaning to send an email to thank everybody, but I formally wanted to do it tonight. But all the departments here really did a great job, and our town is very lucky to have them. I also was honored to attend with the mayor as well on September 11th memorial for the 20th anniversary at Woods Road with Tim Coyle invited, and it was a really special, moving ceremony. So I appreciated the opportunity to participate in that. So with that all said, I will move on to the reports from the departments. So I will start with the building department. In light of the aftermath of the tropical storm Ida, the building department is expediting the applications for the restoration permits due to storm flooding damage. They are working diligently to help assist our residents that have been impacted. Please call the building department at 908-369-5882 with any questions. From engineering, there is a new traffic pattern at the municipal building, if you haven't already seen it. The public is to be advised of a new traffic pattern at the front of the municipal building. Veterans Way is now a one-way aisle with some parallel parking and a loading zone for delivery trucks. The revised layout creates a safer traffic circulation along the front of the building and eliminates delivery trucks parking in the drive aisle, causing unsafe conditions. Additionally, blue line striping is installed not only on portions of Veterans Way, but also around the sides of the building toward the police parking lot. And finally, there are 2 new crosswalks that are ADA accessible. From the Social Services Department, the Hillsborough High School can benefits from local gardeners. The Community Assisted Network benefited from Hillsborough High School teacher, Ms. Melissa Juhas, and students from her summer class created Borough Blooms, a small business to help her students learn about growing and selling vegetables while practicing business skills. After selling their produce to other students and staff during the summer program, they decided to pay it forward by donating the remaining bounty crop of tomatoes, zucchini, green bell peppers, and a few cucumbers to the Community Assisted Network Food Pantry. Local gardeners and gardening groups have also been sharing their summer bumper crops with the Hillsborough Township Community Assisted Network. This week's produce was provided by Hillsborough High School's Borough Blossoms, Hillsborough Presbyterian Church's Community Garden, Somerset County 4-H Garden, and Bee Club, Duke Farms community garden, and individual residents with green thumbs. The Hillsborough High School Girls Soccer Seniors Helping Seniors. The senior members of the Hillsborough High School girls soccer team and other Hillsborough teams volunteered some of their summer time to serve attendees at the Township Second Outdoor Wellness Fair focused on senior health and wellness. The athletes and other volunteers guided seniors, assisted with parking, and served up sunny smiles along with complimentary boxed lunches at the drive-through wellness fair held at the former Willow Road Baseball Complex on July 15th. Pre-registered senior residents aged 60 and over were provided a grilled lunch and an opportunity to meet area organizations serving senior interests. Township and Foothill Acres Rehabilitation and Nursing Center was enjoyed by all. Okay. From the Recreation Department, we have fall activities registration is ongoing. There is still time to register for some of our 2021 fall activities. Keep your family active this fall with the Recreation Department. Students will work towards a musical review production of Aladdin Jr. This class is run by Fresh Theater Arts and is held on Sunday mornings at the Municipal Building. Popular art programs are back in person. Junior Picasso Paint Party is for children aged 9 to 14. Each class focuses on a different topic to help create unique artwork. Ready, Set, Draw is another art program for children aged 8 to 12. Both art programs are in person at the Municipal Complex. Registration for this and all of our fall activities is online at www.hillsboroughNJrecreation.org. Online video game leagues are coming to Hillsborough. Hillsborough Parks and Recreations is excited to announce it has partnered with GG Leagues to bring video game leagues to our community for players aged 8 to 18. Each league will run 6 weeks, culminating with the playoffs, where prizes are offered to the winning team. The cost is $50 and includes access to as many leagues as you like. Registration closes on September 22nd and is available on the Hillsborough Recreation website. There will be fall movie on the big screen Under the Stars. Due to an overwhelming response to our summer movies in the Park Pro series, we are excited to offer one more free movie, Under the Stars. What's even more exciting is we will be featuring The Lion King on a massive 40-foot screen at Singley Park on Friday, September 24th. Even though the event is free, online registration is required. Bring your lawn chairs and a blanket and enjoy The Lion King Under the Stars. The movie starts at 7:30 and the ice cream truck will be there at 7 p.m. And lastly, from the Health Department, there will be a free COVID vaccination clinic on Sunday, September 19th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Iron Peak Sports and Events at 137 Mountain View Road. Vaccines are available for residents aged 12 and up. Flu vaccination clinics will be September 23rd from 3:30 to 6 p.m. at the Hillsborough Municipal Building. Bring the family. We vaccinate children and adults. Please bring Medicare cards and insurance cards. The Health Department has been working with the Garden State Labs to offer free well water sampling for wells impacted by Ida. We will continue to offer this until Thursday, September 16th. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Next off, committee.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to start with just my regular comments. We're going to continue to celebrate our 250th celebration. There's still time to register for the Hillsborough's first ever Scarecrow Festival. In fact, at Hillsborough, the residents, business, and organizations are invited to participate. Interested parties can create scarecrows that depict historical people and famous characters, or they can go the traditional route. All entries are welcome as long as they are family friendly and homemade. Scarecrows will be graced the grassy knoll of winding paths beside Rain Garden at the Municipal Complex. For information on registering your handcrafted scarecrow for the Scarecrow Festival, please see tomorrow's Mayor's E-News, the Hillsborough Township Facebook page, and the Hillsborough Township website at hillsboroughNJ.org. Registration closes September 18th. Public Works. The Public Works Department is currently inviting residents to visit the Township website under the Public Works link for more information on the management of storm debris generated from Tropical Storm Ida. After opening up the Orton Road site for 2 weeks, we are now in the senior citizen curbside pickup phase, which will start on on September 16th for residents 65 and older. Major road repairs from the flood and other issues that we are addressing, please pay attention to any traffic control devices such as road cones or barriers as they are placed for your safety. Also, please give the crews working on the roads plenty of room when you are driving through the construction zones. PSE&G, if your electric panel in your home was submerged or sustained water damage in the flooding and you have power, we strongly encourage you to consult an electrician. If you do not have power, please contact PSE&G. PSE&G is responsible for replacing and repairing the service wire coming from the street to the point of connection or the customer's home along the electric meter if it was damaged. If there is any other damage to the electrical panel and/or wiring inside your home, please contact an electrician, as this is your homeowner's responsibility. Once the work is complete, contact the municipality for your inspection before PSE&G can resolve or restore service. And that's it for my reports, but I'd also like to piggyback off of what the mayor said, as well as Janine as well. As you guys know, I'm a first-time committeeman as well. So the day after the storm, I probably made it here at about 7:30 in the morning. For somebody who really didn't know too much of the procedures of what was taking place, I have to say it was pretty unbelievable to just see how everybody within this municipal building came together. And there wasn't really a pamphlet that we could read to go off of. It was just really trying to make the best decisions that helped the residents of Hillsborough. And I say that to say there was probably about 25 people who ended up spending the night here in the municipal building. So OEM, these people not only have their homes where they were, being flooded out as well, like I think 2/3 of the committee as well, was managing their home issues as well as being here and helping others. But it was just really great to see. And I do have to, again, piggyback off of what the mayor said. It was really pleasant to see people just rise for the occasion. To just help people in need. And on top of that, I'd also like to echo out to the county for their services that they were able to provide to us, as well as the state and now the president. The good news, like the mayor said, we're on the map now, so there should be some resources coming our way that hopefully can alleviate some of the burden that we have been receiving from the storms. And that's all from me, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Deputy Mayor Delcor.
Thank you, Mayor. Not to be repetitive, but I've got to be anyway. First of all, I'd like to just, all those that are continue to suffer here in Hillsborough, please know that we are still thinking of you. We know that there are things that still need to be done. We're trying to continue to set up services or processes or things in town here to make sure that we're doing all we can, whether it's expediting permits, as we've talked about, or making sure you've got the information you need, or getting FEMA resources. I know it's been over a week, but that doesn't mean we've moved on. There's still a lot of work to do, and there's still a lot of families and people suffering here in town. So we just want to make sure that we don't move on too quickly. There's still a lot that needs to get done, and I know my colleagues and I are committed to making sure that we're going to move forward and do all we can for those families that have been devastatingly impacted over the last couple weeks. To the volunteers, our emergency services, our OEM, our community assistance network, it's just once again an amazing effort to try to do all they can for their fellow citizens. I know we talked a little bit about some of the donations. On that Labor Day Monday, we opened up the municipal building here for families that needed it. And if anyone came here and you actually saw what was in the multipurpose room, the amount of donations, tables and tables and tables of necessities for people in need was just unbelievably overwhelming to see what people donated to help support their fellow citizens. And I want to thank everyone that was involved either in the donation or the sorting process. We spent most of the day here helping, as the mayor noted, families coming through, and it was really it was a very bittersweet type of day. You appreciate the work that was being done by the volunteers, but you also recognize the families that are in pain. And of course, the emergency responders and all the incredible work that they did. I'd like to also thank our public information officer. You may know her as our township clerk. I think she got hoarse by all the messages that she had to put out, trying to keep people posted on the information that was so necessary for everyone. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the comments that I have. But I want to thank you for your tireless efforts over that weekend or week as well. And just one last note, Mayor, I'd like to thank you for your leadership. As someone that's been in that chair, I know sometimes you don't earn your stripes until you face a crisis. Well, I can say you've earned your stripes. The fact that you had to go through the meetings that you did, having the governor and the president here, and thank you for representing the needs of your constituents and the people here in Hillsborough. And I hope they heard the message. I know you delivered it. I hope they heard it. So thank you for that. On to the regular part of the comments. Emergency services, a couple things. Just a reminder, unfortunately, we are facing a bit of a wave, both in the state, county, and here in Hillsborough of some burglaries in your car, just in people opening cars in the driveways. Keep your cars locked. Don't keep any valuables in them. It's the quick, easy, open the door, grab whatever's in there and go. So if you don't give them the opportunity by locking your doors of the car to your driveway, you're not giving them the opportunity. And please don't leave your keys or your fobs in your vehicles if they're parked in your driveway. Sounds common sense. You'd be surprised how many times it's not. We talked a lot about the road closures and people obeying the barricades. Barricades aren't up for our enjoyment, I can assure you. The police and our emergency services people put those up because they know that on the other side of those barricades, trouble awaits. So please don't go around the barricades if we put them up. We saw that time and time again with the flood waters. People would go around and then they would get stuck. And then recovery resources are being spent. You trying to save people that went around the barricade thinking that they knew better than the people that put the barricades up. So just please use some caution when you see those up there. It is for everyone's safety that we put them up, and we'll try to give you as much information, and we'll take them down as quickly as possible. We know sometimes it can be an issue trying to get to work, but recognize there is a danger that comes with that. And finally, from the police, we are getting a number of fraud and scam calls you're seeing. So just be suspicious if you're getting strange calls. Credit cards that you don't have anymore, you haven't had any activity on. I've been getting a bunch of spam calls lately from that posing as AT&T that my bill has been paid, and if I want another service, just to click on the link and it's via text. So it's just be cognizant that stuff is out there, and don't click or respond to things, or especially requests for money. And if you have any concerns, please reach out to the police department. That's what they do. They'll take care of that for you. The finance organization, the final 2021 and preliminary 2022 tax bills will be mailed the week of September 20th. So that's next week. The property owners whose taxes are paid by a mortgage company through escrow will receive a tax bill. It says advice only. which allows you to compare the escrow payments being taken to your actual tax bill being billed. So your mortgage company will also receive that information on your behalf. More information on the tax bill or understanding it can be found on the Township website. From the Business Advocate, we've had a very successful restaurant week the last couple of years, and we are going to continue that process again. Currently, registration is open with this year's event taking place from September the 28th through October the 3rd. I think we're all aware of how difficult it's been on the restaurant community, as it has been for many over the last 18 months or so. So we're trying to do all we can to help promote some of the restaurants here in town. And we're asking the restaurants to provide their creative masterpiece, use that as a signature dish for all the local foodies in town to go out and visit the local restaurants. So the mayor's tour was postponed. He'll be going out to get to those restaurants again before the restaurant week starts, but that will go on. And also to raise money for our community assistance network, which has been so vital over the last couple of weeks in particular, working and helping residents affected by the storm. We'll be asking for monetary donations through QR codes on flyers posted at each participating restaurant. The code will lead you to CAN's donation page where you can contribute to funds that will be used to purchase gift cards that can be used for the residents in need. You can also purchase gift cards directly at an establishment and drop it off at Social Services Department, which is here in the municipal building. So this is a great opportunity to support businesses and your neighbors at the same time with some good food and to feel a part of the community no matter the situation. As I was mentioning earlier, we really do try to get as much communication out. We've got a number of various channels that we utilize, but please be advised that the official Hillsborough Township page is not affiliated with any local Facebook groups. So they may provide information. They may get things from other people that are posting. Please note that the official announcements do come through the Township's page or off the Township newsletter, e-news that we send out, Swift Reach, and the Hillsborough webpage. So if you do have questions, please reach out through those channels. If you want to use the other ones, by all means, you're free to, and they're a valuable source. Susan provides some of that here in the municipal. She's here right now, but realize they're not the official sources. So if you want something to know what really is coming from the Township, please come to the Township website. And also, please note that if you're posting on those pages, most of the officials here, we're not checking those pages. So if you're looking for answers for things from the local officials, that's probably not the place you're going to get ready information. And we saw that time and time again throughout the process with road closures and the like. Sometimes Grapevine's a little quicker, but it may not always be the most accurate. So just bear that in mind. We're going to continue the busyness that we've had this September. Just a reminder, our 250th anniversary parade is this Saturday, the 18th. And as we've seen over last week, we have an amazing and supportive community. So we hope you'll come out and support the veterans, our first responders, township employees, and other community groups that are going to be marching in the parade. The parade will take place at 10 a.m. and it'll follow the usual parade route that we normally have in town, beginning at the corner of Alton and New Amwell and concluding at the municipal complex. 250 years is a pretty impressive milestone, and we want to make sure we're able to celebrate it with all the residents here in town. So please come out and support those groups. I'm almost done. Borough Safe T-shirt contest in honor of National Suicide Prevention Week. Borough Safe is running a T-shirt contest. The design should focus on suicide prevention and awareness in our community, using the theme of "Be the One to." So be the number one to help your or whatever the design, whatever you want to use on that. But the contest is taking place, and the information on the contest will be in tomorrow's e-news and on the Township Facebook page. And finally, there's still time to make our Duke Farmers Market, the #1 farmers market, via the farmland.org survey. Since September 12th, the Duke Farmers Market has moved up to 8th place nationally from number 14, and also first in the Northeast. The Farmers Market also expanded its lead in first place in New Jersey. So voting closes this Sunday at midnight. They've earned almost 900 votes so far. So you can go to markets.farmland.org to vote. And again, that closes out on September the 19th, this Sunday at midnight. And Mayor, that's all for me.
Sure.
I think I'm good now.
Lots of stuff going on in town this past few weeks. Thank you, Mayor, Deputy Mayor. Sure you want to be mayor now? Come back. I got a couple quick things, and then we'll get on to our proclamations and honoring those who are in the building with us today. On Tuesday, August 24th, I attended the inauguration of a recently refurbished fire pit at Ann Van Middlesworth Park in order to congratulate prospective Eagle Scout Kyle Toland on his fantastic work in refurbishing the fire pit area. Kyle's a member of Scout Troop 1776, along with several volunteers, trimmed overgrown bushes, swept and tidied the brickwork, and refurbished the fire pit itself. Kyle also installed a new bench and, in compliance with fire safety, set up a sand bucket. Thank you to Kyle and his team for helping to make Hillsborough the best place to live in America. And we wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors. And on a nice cold day, go out with some friends and have a fire pit and talk about better things at hand. On a separate note, other than the formal 9/11 stuff I was invited by Joni Priccarello. She planted a tree on her own after 9/11 20 years ago. And over the past 20 years, she has been creating a memorial garden in her way of dealing with the memory of those who lost their lives that day. And then she came to me and asked that she wanted to put a bench there to sit and reflect. And I said that was a great idea. So she followed up and asked me to come dedicate it on 9/11 with her and her neighbors. And Jeff was also there with me. This was just something she did on her own. She paid the entire cost of herself. It was her way of honoring those who we lost. So this is the kind of thing that goes on everywhere unnoticed, but I wanted to just draw attention to Joni and what a great thing she did. And I appreciate her inviting me to be part of it. Also, as you heard, there was the normal Woods Road Fire Company 9/11 memorial, and we had a great turnout from the public as well as our elected officials. And it's really just about the memory of those who we lost. And I appreciate the invitation and look forward to attending again in the future. Lastly, this is kind of an add-on. As the Deputy Mayor said, it's our 250th anniversary coming up parade. And that is the corn maze that Norris Farm that you'll be walking through. If you notice, it says Hillsborough 1771. Luckily, most of it escaped damage from the floods, but most of their money-making crops did not. So I would ask to support the Norses by showing up to their fall festival, because they are basically lost all their crops for the fall. And Debbie took me on a tour with her little Kubota around, and it wasn't necessarily just all Ida. It's just the fall and the Henry and all the water just essentially just destroyed all their crops. So this is essentially the sole income that this family will have this fall. So I would ask our township, as we always do, to support our neighbors, to support the Norses and visit their great fall festival, as we will, and enjoy walking. I'll get lost in that before it even gets to #1, let alone the 7th. But thank you for that. As always, Deputy Mayor said you can stay connected with all events and more via the Wednesday e-newsletter. To be sure to follow and like the official Hillsborough Township Facebook, Twitter page, TV29, and the Hillsborough YouTube channels showcase our meetings and Hillsborough Good Life episodes, Hillsborough alerts for traffic and emergency notifications. So we're going to move on. A couple of things I'm going to just read into the record, and then I'll move down to hand out some proclamations. I will call each recipient one at a time. As usual, after receiving their recognition, we will pose for a picture and ask you please return to your seat. And then at the end, we will take a brief pause for those who want to leave and then resume the meeting. I will read into the record a thank you to Lieutenant James Omert for 25 years of service. We thank Lieutenant James Omert for his many years of Hillsborough Township and making us a safer community through his endeavor, and we wish him all the best as he moves on into retirement. Also, we have Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I'm going to read a little passage here, and then we'll follow up with something else. Domestic Violence Awareness Month was first recognized in 1981 by the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence as the Day of Unity to connect battered women advocates across the country. Domestic violence affects millions, both women and men of every race, religion, culture, and status. Domestic violence is not only physical abuse, it is also yelling, humiliation, stalking, manipulation, coercion, threats, and isolation. Safe and Sound Somerset, a local domestic violence resource, services include a 24-hour call and text crisis hotline, emergency safe house, transitional housing, legal advocacy, and individual and group counseling for adults and children, financial empowerment, volunteer domestic violence response teams, family advocacy, and speak, community outreach, and education. In 2020, Safe and Sound Somerset provided 4,040 adult and children survivors with 2,805 counseling sessions, 1,990 legal advocacy sessions, 5,500 nights of refuge, meals and other necessities, responded to 2,272 calls and texts to the hotline, and provided 119 outreach and violence prevention programs to 4,087 students and community members. Safe and Sound Somerset served 21% more survivors in 2020 and provided 40% more services overall, highlighting the urgency of domestic abuse during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor, and the Hillsborough Township Committee do hereby proclaim October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and encourage all to support victims and survivors and speak out against domestic violence. Pam?
On behalf of Safe and Sound Somerset, they are proud to accept this year's Domestic Violence Awareness Month proclamation, and thanks to Hillsborough Township for joining them in their work to end domestic violence abuse once and for all. Safe and Sound Somerset served 21% more survivors in 2020, as the proclamation mentioned, and provided 40% more services overall, highlighting the urgency of domestic abuse during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Please consider joining them at the Candles of Hope Vigil on October 6th at 7 p.m. at the Somerset County Courthouse Green in Somerville for a night of remembrance, hope, and action. And this was submitted on behalf of the Community Outreach Associate from Safe and Sound Somerset, Jessica Scolpi.
Thank you, Pam. So I'll move down and I'll start with some of the awards. Okay. We're going to start with suicide prevention awareness. Come on up. Just on cast. Got me. Everybody in blue. September is known throughout the United States as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, an initiative intended to help raise awareness and prevention is possible, treatment is effective, and people do recover. According to the United States Center for Disease Control, each year more than 47,500 people die by suicide. 47,500. Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among adults in the U.S. and second leading cause of death among people aged 10 to 34, and is one of the most tragic events a family and community can experience. Hillsborough lends its full support behind local educators, mental health professionals, athletic coaches, scout leaders, police officers, and parents as community partners in being available to one another. Borough Safe's goal is to raise community awareness that suicide is preventable. Residents are encouraged to educate themselves of the warning signs of suicide, understand suicide is preventable, and that there are resources available. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, hereby declare September 2021 as National Suicide Awareness Month and vow to continue to support suicide awareness programs dedicated to helping our community.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Borough Safe is a community collaborative. We work with the school and the community to promote mental health awareness, suicide prevention, and September is a very important month for us. So we do have some events coming up. September 29th, we have a mental health event in the evening. And as you saw on the screen earlier, we do have a t-shirt contest in October. We were here for the poster contest, I think, last month, a couple months ago, which was really successful. And the kids, it was just students who did it, and they really, really enjoyed it. So we're hoping that this will be community-wide, adults and kids. And thank you for supporting us in promoting mental health awareness. They all want to say something.
Can I take a picture?
Oh, picture, sorry. Yeah, we did. Thank you. Thank you.
Just as important, Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. Okay, go ahead. You can give it to him now. You're up. Or you can hold this. How's that?
Thank you. Yes.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well. Thank you.
It's a true swag bag.
So this is information, pamphlets, and a ribbon if you want to put it at your home.
Okay. Thank you. By proclaiming September 2021 as Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, we call attention to a disease that affects women across our country, state, and county. Oh, I messed it up. The American Cancer Society is estimated with 13,770 American women are projected to lose their lives to ovarian cancer this year. These women are mothers, daughters, sisters, grandmothers, community members, and cherished friends, and the absence they leave in our hearts will be deeply felt forever. Women who are middle-aged and older who have a family history of ovarian or breast cancer or have had certain cancers in the past are an increased risk of developing ovarian cancer. Because ovarian cancer often goes undetected until advanced stages, increasing the awareness of risk factors is critical to fighting the disease. It is estimated that 22,410 new cases of ovarian cancer will be diagnosed in the United States this year. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize September 2021 as Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month and will call upon citizens, government agencies, organizations, healthcare providers, and research institutions to raise ovarian cancer awareness and continue helping women live longer, healthier lives by urging women to talk to their healthcare providers and learn more about the disease.
Thank you so much for all you do for the town and for supporting this cause for all these years. Yes, I lost my mom to this disease. I probably get the math wrong now, but like 14 years, I think now. And early detection is everything. You can go to turnthetownteal.org. That's the organization that we volunteer for, and that's the information that I gave out to everyone. Teal is the color for Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. And you can also go to ovariancancer.org for information for the early detection, because the signs and the symptoms are just very vague. And just again, thank you so much for supporting us.
the Shannon Garden Club. Anybody here? Oh, they are in the black and the green. So we like to honor, I mean, he's kind of, I don't bite. I don't bite. So the Shannon Garden Club is a group of young ladies and men who make our town beautiful, one flower at a time. And as a landscaper, I can appreciate that. But recently, because we didn't have our true Memorial Day parade, we dedicated the Blue Star Memorial right out the building here. And I let the young ladies talk about that. And I'd just like a certificate of appreciation for what a great job it is. It looks great, and it's a great asset to our town.
Okay, the Garden Club has been around for over 90 years now. We manage several gardens in Hillsborough, Montgomery, and Branchburg. The biggest one being Anne Van Middlesworth Park, the Sensory Garden. And anytime on a Thursday morning you want something to do, you can come pull weeds. We started working on putting the Blue Star Memorial up in 2017. We approached the municipal building for some help. And finally, we got everything going. We got the Township was a great help. They took care of receiving the Blue Star Memorial. They helped us dig the hole to put it in. And they were just great. They helped us. And unfortunately, we couldn't have the service that we wanted, but we did do it at the Memorial Parade. Well, it wasn't a parade, it was inside. And we did a dedication, and we're just thankful that you guys helped us out with our endeavors.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that's all we have for now. So we'll take a 5-minute pause for those who want to leave, and we'll reconvene at 8:30.
Hillsborough, New Jersey, celebrating 250 years of a rich history.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sean Lapani, and I'm proud to showcase Hillsborough, one of the best places to live in America.
From the preserved farms that help feed the world, to the Vanderveer House, to the John R. Stott's house, restored and currently utilized for business, to the magnificent and world-famous Duke Farms,
Where you can walk or ride a bike through their historic grounds. To the iconic Neshannock Reformed Church, and just down the road is our fabulous Neshannock Mill, located right on the picturesque Raritan River.
you're invited to visit Hillsborough, a great place to live, work, play, and do business anytime. And experience over 250 years of proud history in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Hillsborough, New Jersey, celebrating 250 years of a rich history.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sean Lapani, and I'm proud to showcase Hillsborough, one of the best places to live in America.
From the preserved farms that help feed the world, to the Vanderveer House, to the John R. Stott's house, restored and currently utilized for business, to the magnificent and world-famous Duke Farms,
where you can walk or ride a bike through their historic grounds, to the iconic Neshannock Reformed Church, and just down the road is our fabulous Neshannock Mill, located right on the picturesque Raritan River.
You're invited to visit Hillsborough, a great place to live, work, play, and do business anytime. And experience over 250 years of proud history in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Hillsborough, New Jersey, celebrating 250 years of a rich history.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sean Lapani, and I'm proud to showcase Hillsborough, one of the best places to live in America.
From preserved farms that help feed the world, to the Vanderveer House, to the John R. Stott's house, restored and currently utilized for business, to the magnificent and world-famous Duke Farms,
where you can walk or ride a bike through their historic grounds. To the iconic Neshannock Reformed Church, and just down the road is our fabulous Neshannock Mill located right on the picturesque Raritan River.
you're invited to visit Hillsborough, a great place to live, work, play, and do business anytime. And experience over 250 years of proud history in Hillsborough, New Jersey.
We're back in session. Thank you to all those who were part of our proclamations, the Ovarian Cancer and the Shannon Garden Club. They do good work, and we appreciate them and all they do. There's no new business at this time, so we will go to public comment on new business and matters not on the agenda. So anything that is not on the agenda, if anyone wants to make a comment, this would be the time. Please come to the mic, state your name, and please spell your last name and go.
Name and address, please.
Oh, name and address. Sorry, got that part.
Hi, first name John, last name Tunjin, Tunjian. My address is 150 Johansson Ave in Hillsborough, New Jersey.
Hello, John.
I'm here tonight, and I was contemplating if I should come because I know a lot of people suffer from it. I don't think I suffered as near as bad as a lot of others. But my suffering is due to everything I've been in front of this township committee, in front of the zoning board. It all came to be. My house, I've lived there over 30 years. I never took an ounce of water. I took 2 feet of water. I filled a 30 cubic yard dumpster full of material. And all that water came from the storage that was supposed to sort the Hillsborough storage system that we've been talking about. Nothing to do with Raritan swelling. It all came in and left within 3 hours. When the Raritan River was peaking, I had no water. Neither did my neighbors. So if you look at the bottom part, not the top part, the bottom part of Johansson, that can be rectified. And that's why I'm here today. You have the states here, you have the federal government's here. We need that money. And what we need to do is enhance that drainage system. That 32-inch pipe is not going to make it. That 42-inch pipe ain't going to make it. We all know they built Stella Academy. They went into that main. We know they built Portland, and they went into that main. We know they built on Harvard Way, and they went into that main. Now they want to put this new complex. They want to put it into the main. That night of that incident, I know exactly what happened because I was fearful 2 hours prior, and I told my wife, now it's going to happen. This ticking time bomb was going to explode. I know it hit a lot of other people, I'm surprised. It didn't hit me, but it hit me so fast and so quick. I lost 2 cars and lost almost all my belongings. In matters of half hour, I took on all this water. And I'll tell you exactly how it happened. When that storage drain that sits in front of my house could not take on any more water, it started filling so quick. By the time I took my 2 cars out of my driveway and tried to get them up the street, my daughter's car was already underwater. My wife and my daughter couldn't close the garage door. I went towards the back, tried to get the back of that door shut. Now my house started to fill with water. When that catch basin that we've been talking about, where that's been undermined 2 feet down, that catch basin started to flow down towards the back of my house. So now I had water flowing from the back and in the front. And this all could have been prevented because then we said there's an emergency route of water that we've been talking about. It was clogged. It was clogged because no one from the township ever keeps up on it. And am I supposed to police this? I mean, if that was clear, that would have flowed completely down. And how I know it wasn't clear? Because I had a 200-pound planter and a kayak that only went 3 houses down and spit back out onto Johansson. I've been here several times. We knew this was going to happen. All I'm asking for the township from this point in time, my house, I'm out $80,000. I don't have flood insurance. My house depreciated by 30, 40%. Same with my neighbors around me. I'm asking for you, and that's why I'm here tonight. is please make a commitment not to do an evaluation to fix this problem. In 1970, they put the pipe system in. There has been no enhancement to the pipe system. We have a makeshift ditch behind my house that goes about 10 houses behind us. You can come see it anytime. Mosquitoes sit in it. It's a joke. Everyone who came in front of you and told you this when we were trying to do this over and over again told you what was going to happen. That's the difference between me and a lot of others. We knew this was going to happen. A lot of other people are caught by surprise. This wasn't a stream. This wasn't a river. This wasn't something that swelled. This was because of a flawed system. And we've heard it over and over again. So only thing I ask you now is please, that's why I'm here tonight, make a commitment to fix this. And I know if you took that 42-inch main to a 6-foot main and you spent the money and did that 3,000-foot run, I wouldn't be underwater. I know I wouldn't be underwater. Even with IDA, I wouldn't be underwater. So please, for us on the bottom part of Johann, I feel so bad for the top. But they purchased homes in a flood zone. They bought flood insurance. My wife had tapes. We had photos. My whole office, we never thought we would ever take an inch of water. Anyone who ever never thought they were going to take on water takes on 2 feet water. It's a big difference. So that's why I'm here tonight. I mean, I hate to hit you at this current time, but now we know monies and funds are coming in. Please take in consideration where we sit on the bottom part of Johansson. And that was never a flood zone, and now it is a flood zone. And we're losing all belongings, not just me and my neighbors, and that's whole thing starting to swell. And once again, it came in and it left way before all this other tragedy happened. I hope you can do something for us. I really do. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Richard Mann, MAHON, 120 Johansson Avenue. After the river stops running between the houses, this time the river came up into my house for the first time ever. You were going to do a stormwater study. Did that report come back yet?
It partially, it's not complete.
Does it look favorable? Obviously not. I wouldn't think so.
It's still incomplete. We're looking at the whole program, and I'll just say there are some recommendations that need to be done, and so.
One thing I would ask is have somebody from the township, building department, I don't know, engineering department, go ask some of the neighbors how high the water was on the property behind them, where they're going to put the apartments. Those apartments might have been underwater. And for the developer to come in and put apartments up with the potential to be underwater, I don't think is a good idea. And if you do investigate that, which I ask you to, you ought to go back to the judge in Somerville who gave them permission to put those apartments in and inform him that they'll be underwater. The other thing is the proposal for warehouses back there that was in the paper today is absolutely ridiculous. And whether it's true or not, they wanted to dump into the existing detention basin, which overflows. I just couldn't think that they would do something like that, or they would be allowed to do something like that. But please look into that piece of property that potentially was underwater and find out. Let the judge know. At the planning board, I think on the 23rd, campus is coming before it to put those apartments in.
It's scheduled, yes. Actually, I believe right now it's scheduled for the 23rd, yes.
20
of this month, 23rd.
Okay.
It's still on the schedule.
It's a
Yet to
totally
be seen.
bad idea.
I'm not disagreeing with you. But we'll see.
That can't happen. That can't. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey. Also Hillsborough Township property owner, Block 86, Lot 3, 2155 Camp Lane Road. I'd like to ask if the mayor and the committee people received my letter in regard to the excavation of the lot next to my property. Block 8, that was Block 86, Lot 4.
You mean the people that will cut down trees?
The what?
The people that started to clear the trees? That's not excavation. They did they started to do land clearing. They didn't excavate anything yet. But yes, I received that letter.
The excavator cleared trees and vegetation
Right.
from that lot that adjoins my lot.
And we addressed this the last meeting you were here.
No,
Yes, we did.
no, this happened after the last meeting. This happened after the last meeting because they hadn't started work yet on that Sherman tract. So I saw that they were clearing a path through that property, which is not a part of the development. And if you see in the Sherman development plan, it states that there is no road frontage on there's no frontage on an existing developed street for Block 86, Lot 21. So they have to go through something that fronts Champlain Road before they can get to the back. So one path was being cleared through that lot, which I brought to the attention of Thomas Bellinger and David Maskey. I was told it was a mistake. Now, the other path going through, I was told by Mr. Bellinger is that it's Concord Street, which is a paper street. Now, there are no records stating that the township vacated the property of the paper street, Concord Street. So how are they using that property if it wasn't vacated and it wasn't sold or given to RPM developers? How come they're clearing a path through that property to the back to get to Block 86, Lot 21?
Is that your?
I'm unfamiliar with the application, but
I-
for all I know, the application approved that paper street to be developed by them. I have no idea. You'd have to check with the planning and engineering department.
I don't remember the particulars. I do know that the Concord Street, that the paper street on Concord has been part of some of the planning discussions. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember the particulars. We can look into it, but I know that that issue has been part of some of the application process as we've been going through the Sherman matters.
I have asked this several times, so I'm going to submit an Oprah request, and I'm going to request that those records be provided when the township vacated that land and either sold it or gave it to RPM developers so that they can access the back. Now, the other thing, I went to the engineering department and spoke with Thomas Bellinger, and I was shown the site plan. It's showing that it's Block 86, Lot 21, Phase 1. I was at a meeting here when public hearing, when it was approved to subdivide that lot into two separate parcels, and Phase 1 was supposed to be Block 86, Lot 21.01. Now it's being shown as Block 86, Lot 21 only without the subdivision. So there's a lot of stuff
They haven't
going
updated
on.
the map yet. They
Excuse me?
haven't updated the map yet. They just redid the ordinance a week ago. They haven't updated the maps. That's all.
What ordinance are you speaking about?
The one that you were at for all the planning boards, and then at the ordinance that approved the RPM development earlier this year. You've been at every meeting, Ms. Janasek,
I'm
along
asking
this
which
whole
ordinance you're
process.
talking about, because in July of
Because you asked if it was sold
when
yet, and we said, yes, it was sold for $1.
Approval was given to subdivide that lot, and then this RPM development was supposed to be on Block 86, Lot 21.01. That was in 2019, not an ordinance that was approved last week. So there's a lot of, I'm going to say, a lot of
it's all been
flim-flam
done.
going on.
Ms.
with one thing
Janasek,
is-
you've been in every meeting.
May I
No,
please?
'cause I'm
May I
done.
please? Because you tell me.
Ms. Janasek, you've asked this question at every meeting that you've come to, and it's been answered both on the planning board, which I've been at here. So what I'm going to ask you to do is you can go to the planning department, you can go to the engineering department, get any questions done there, because here we cannot answer those questions. But I know for a fact that you were present at every one of those meetings. You were here to ask questions, and you've asked questions prior, and those questions have all been asked and answered prior. What else you got? What's new?
Which question are you referring to?
Everyone
right now?
that you've asked.
Right now.
Everyone that
Which
you've
question are you
asked.
referring to?
Everyone that you've asked. What else do you have?
I also went to the engineering department and to the building department and to the zoning department, spoke with Mr. Maskey, I spoke with Thomas Bellinger. This property has wetlands galore. It's got the Royce Brook that yesterday, when I attended the Banville Borough meeting, the OEM official said that the Royce Brook was like a raging river. Now you want to put properties back there. You want to create more impervious surface, and that's going to create flooding. Here you're talking about helping people, that were flooded and stuff. What's going on is all of this overdevelopment and on properties that have wetlands is what's creating these problems. Way too many sewers for projects that have 300 homes on properties that the zoning ordinance is being specifically geared to. And this is what's creating all these flooding problems. The gentleman that spoke from the Green Hills development, it's a shame that they were flooded because they've been here. I've been here at planning board meetings. Now you're talking about campus associates on wetlands, and a Judge Kevin Shanahan says you can't ask him to do a study for that 42-inch pipe. How can that be in an ordinance that you can't do a study on a 42-inch pipe? That doesn't make sense. Also, that they don't have to ask for waivers and variances. That sounds really fishy for a judge to say, this guy, you can't ask him anything. Everybody else has to come and apply for a variance or a waiver, or has to do certain studies. That study was supposed to be done by the developer. He didn't want to do it, so the judge says he doesn't have to. You're saying the township's going to do it. Why should we taxpayers pay for a study that the developer should have done? So all of this flooding in Hillsborough is a result of what's going on here as far as the planning board, what's being allowed, all these affordable housing developments going on land with wetlands. That's what the mess is. And the Sherman Tract is another example of it. You've got 1/3 of the property is wetlands. You've got the Royce Brook right across there. You've got streams. You've got the DNR Canal Commission easement over there. And what's going on? And then you're going to say, oh my goodness, it flooded.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, that'll close public comment not on today's agenda. We will go to public hearings, 2021-18, an ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled Salary Range Ordinance setting forth the salary ranges of the classifications set forth in said ordinance. This ordinance was introduced on August 14th meeting and was set up for public hearing this evening after the introduction, but before public hearing, it was determined that a new title needed to be included, building subcode official supervisor and setting the salary range of, bless you, of $48,000 to $112,000. This is a substantial change and therefore will not have a public hearing and or adoption this evening. Is there a motion to modify this ordinance to include the title of building subcode official supervisor and setting the salary range at $48,000 to $112,000 and introduce as such?
I'll move that, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy. A second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Erickson?
Yes.
Committeeman Wright?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Delfor?
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante?
Thank you. This ordinance will be scheduled for public hearing for the October 14th, 2021 meeting. 2021-19, an ordinance to amend, revise, and supplement ordinance number 2020-08, which was an ordinance of the Township of Hillsborough amending Chapter 188, Land Use and Development, Article 5, District and Standards, Section 188-98, RA, RS, R1, R2, CR, AH, RCA, and PD, residential districts by adding R8A zone to apply to Block 182, Lot 9, 11.01 and 46.01, and Block 183, Lot 38.02 by further amending, revising supplemental schedule for residential zone 188, Attachment 2, Statute 188, Attachment 2, as a maximum pervious surface percent in the R8A zone. This ordinance was introduced in the August 14th and pursuant to municipal land use law was referred to the planning board for review. The planning board did not have an opportunity to review and therefore the public hearing is being carried until September 28th of Township Committee meeting without further notice. Introduction of new ordinances, 2021-20. An ordinance to amend the code of the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, by adding Chapter 234 to regulate the use of municipal complex multipurpose conference rooms and approve a designated exterior space located at 379 South Ranch Road in the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey. Further consideration, public hearing will be held on October 14th, 2021. Do I have a motion to introduce ordinance?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Comments from Diaz? No. Roll call.
Committeeman Erickson,
Yes.
Committeeman Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Delport.
Yes.
Mayor LaFont.
Yes. All right, we have our consent agenda. Items 1 through 31. Anyone wishing to take these resolutions separately? Okay. I do have some comments. Congratulations to our police officers be promoting this evening. I look forward to swearing them in tomorrow and their families. Regarding resolution number 17, special emergency resolution to cover the cost of extraordinary expenses related to Tropical Storm Ida. This is necessary as there is no provision to pay for this in the municipal government. However, the township will recover most of these funds through insurance and FEMA reimbursement, which will not be received in this calendar year. Therefore, the township must appropriate and spend the funds now. With respect to resolution 1920 regarding the 2020 audit, it has been completed and submitted to the state of New Jersey. And I'm happy to report that the Hillsborough town remains fiscally sound and responsible. Does anyone else have any comments they'd like to make on any of these resolutions?
Yeah, Mayor,
Sure, Jeff.
with regards to 17 you just spoke about, I know you said that we'll get reimbursed most likely next year. Isn't there emergency funds that should be in place through Emmett where we would fill it out? Like what's the delay? Like, why would there be a delay? Why would we have to wait till next year? Is my question.
Well, I'll probably a question that Nancy could probably answer directly.
Okay.
But this is the first step to protect us. We have to adopt this resolution so that we can get funds back.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, just unfortunately, sometimes the wheels of government turn slowly. So, while we can do all we can to put the processes in place, it's just, there's all kinds of verification that needs to go on to ultimately to get funded. So it's never as fast as we need it, unfortunately.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, all the overtime has to be paid, all the, obviously with the guys and stuff, so we gotta
Okay.
have a solution for that. Anyone else on dais or anybody? Pam?
Administrator Ferrer apologizes for not being here this evening, and he wanted to extend his congratulations, obviously, to the police officers being promoted, as well as he's welcoming Alexa Knox to the township as a part-time floater, and congratulates Marcy McLaughlin on her transition to the position of zoning officer in the planning and zoning department. So, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Once it's adopted.
Once it's
We
there.
might have jumped the gun here a little bit.
Any comments from the floor?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead, come on, Maria.
Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey. In regard to consent one, resolution authorizing the promotion of Sergeants Peter Schultz and Stephen Nowacki. How long were these two officers sergeants before they were promoted to lieutenant?
I don't know. You have to answer, Chief?
Sergeant Schultz, probably close to 4 years, Sergeant Mccarthy, about 2 years.
Okay.
4 years and 2 years?
Mhm.
Okay, and now consent number 2, resolution authorizing the promotion of Corporal Scott McCarthy and Corporal Craig Hendricks to sergeant. Also, how long were each of these corporals before they were promoted to position of sergeant?
Mayor, if I may? Yeah, we will have a full press release on all the officer promotions that'll be issued in the mayor's e-news either tomorrow or next Wednesday. And it'll have all their history and things like that, their bios, which we've always done.
Also, that information would be there of how long they were in that one position
When
before
they-
they were promoted to the next?
It shows like their time and when they were hired and things like that and their promotions, yes.
Yeah,
And-
and just so we're clear, each of those promotion levels goes through a fairly extensive review process, both at the peer, supervisory, and at the brass level, and then also myself and Committeeman Thompson, who are the police liaisons, also went through the process with the officers. So I hope those selections meet your satisfaction, but we think they're very highly qualified for their positions.
Okay, thank you. Consent number 9, resolution authorizing program year 2019 community block grant, community development block grant CB3 project, increasing the amount of $25,163.75. This is an increase to the 2019.
I can
Correct.
answer that. Yes.
It is, yes.
I can answer.
So how does that work? How are you increasing to, is this something that's been done since 2019?
It is that's the program year that the grant was from, and it's through Somerset County Community Block Development Grant Program. And we were awarded, we applied for and were awarded a portion previously this year, and then some municipalities did not accept or want to have the funding. So that additional money was then dispersed to the municipalities who were interested in the program.
It's actually a benefit for our town.
It comes from the
Yes.
You
county.
got more money from the county.
I
Correct.
understand, but now hearing this, why would some municipality refuse this?
That's a
I
good
can't
question.
speak to what other municipalities want to do.
But that's very strange, so I don't
Correct.
understand how
I
they
don't
can have
understand
extra
that either.
money because somebody else said they didn't want it.
Correct.
All right.
Maybe
So
you should go to that
I
town.
think they probably don't have the kind of leadership we have here.
Okay, consent 14, resolution authorizing special item of revenue and appropriation. So is this
Yes.
this relates
Yes.
to this? Okay, so now, the director may also approve the insertion of any item of appropriation for an equal amount. So how is that working? What is that?
It's not, when you see a special appropriation of funds into the budget, it's because it was not accounted for when the municipal budget was adopted. So it's called, Chapter 159. And that is an insertion into our budget above and beyond what was initially adopted. So now we have the full amount, which was the 160 and change plus this 25. So
180
I don't
something.
have, 183, I think. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but so that then allows our CFO to have it as a budget line item.
So this year, it's increased by that 25,000. Last year.
We never had it last year, no. This was applied for, and it was brought forth by Somerset County last year in 2020. And
2019.
I know it says 2019, that's their program grant fund year. It's a little, the way the timing works and the name, if you will, of the grant relative to the year doesn't always coincide with a calendar year, but it's their community block development grant that was brought forth and allowed municipalities to apply for it. We initially applied in 2020, were awarded in 2021, and then were awarded an additional increase. At this time now, our CFO is inserting that line item in our budget through this resolution that you're referring to.
May I just, there's very specific rules about what can go in the budget and when. And at the time we initiated the budget, we did not have any confirmation of this money, so it can't be in our budget. And when we get confirmation, we essentially are able to adjust the budget to show that that money is now coming in and we can include it in our budget planning.
Okay, so it's saying here that these funds are going to be used to support a food security and wellness program, and who administers that program? It's done in Hillsborough, or is that given to an organization? What is this food security and wellness program?
Well, it's done by us. We have our CAN network and we have our social services, which utilize those monies for people in need in our food bank and any other program that they need to help the community.
Consent number 12, Resolution authorizing the purchase of a 2021 Ford Explorer through the Morris County Co-op. And it says the construction code official has requested authorization for the purchase of a 2021 Ford Explorer. Who is the construction code official?
John Fiedler.
John Fiedler? Now, is this something new or is this replacing a vehicle that he has?
They use monies that they get through the permitting process to do their purchases of their agreements. So it's all paid by that department. And then we take their cars that they trade out and we disperse it amongst the township.
So this is replacing a vehicle that he has?
They have, and then they'll take that vehicle and give it to somebody else in our township to use. And then we'll take our older fleet and turn it over. So it keeps our fleet rotating so that we're not aging out and getting into mechanical issues.
Okay, consent number 18, recommendation to approve release of engineering inspection escrow for RPM Development Group and Well Commons project. When was this project completed?
It's not.
It's the Amwell Commons project. It's not completed yet? That's an
Well, this
affordable
portion of the
housing
project must be
project.
completed.
This part of the project, but not the whole,
Because
not the
the-
whole project.
There's going to be more done with this project?
Westering
Westering
Place.
Place.
That is completed. Okay.
Or else we
So
wouldn't
that
be
part is
releasing.
done. So we're releasing escrow. So all their inspections are completed and then whatever's left over, they
It's,
get.
yeah, engineering inspection escrow. So I'm asking when was this was just recently completed?
I believe so.
It might have been completed for
Maybe.
some time, ma'am. How it works is they post fees, escrow fees to cover engineering inspections. And then when the project's completed, closed out, and they send us a request, they're saying, hey, the project's completed, it's closed out. Is there any money in escrow? Yeah, you have money in escrow. Okay, now we're returning it to them.
So it could be a matter of years before they get their.
It's happened, sure. Sure, we've had some where we have to look for the developer.
Right, so no one knows exactly when this was
Well,
completed or whatever.
You
but-
can contact the engineering department. I'm sure they can give you a definitive answer exactly when that project was
The
completed.
letter was written September 3rd. So it's at some point, I imagine, prior to that, the engineer inspections were done.
But those happen almost every day. There's some
Okay.
milestone that's reached and some escrow monies can be returned to someone.
Because I thought that project was completed like several years ago.
And you may very well be correct.
Again, we don't send it back until there's a request and validation of the fulfillment of the escrow requirements.
So the developer has to
Ask.
present a request?
Yeah, so we sit on their money until they give us validation that we're not entitled to it anymore.
Okay. Resolution acknowledging the annual audit for the year 2020 of Hillsborough Township. So so the audit was completed, and then consent number 21 is a resolution accepting and approving the corrective action plan for the 2020 Township audit. What type of corrective action needs to be done for the 2020 audit?
It's set forth in the resolution. I think they noticed there was some outstanding receivables and reserve balances that hadn't been canceled out. So that was one item. And the other item was the Recreation Trust Fund was overexpended, but that was already corrected because the township, the CFO and the township committee in this year's the 2021 budget approved that.
I'm sorry, approved what in the 2021 budget?
The exact item that the auditor noted is that the Recreation Trust Fund was overexpended in 2020. So then the township committee budgeted for that in 2021.
Recreation was short
Because of
money
COVID.
because of COVID, so they couldn't run their programming, which generates dollars. So they're short. So we knew that going into the budget and corrected that on the budget for this year.
Because I see also that you do refunds from recreation. What,
Well, those are fees paid to us, like for programming that they may or may not use, and then we return the money.
okay. Consent number 29, resolution authorizing the hiring of Marcella McLaughlin to the position of zoning officer in the Planning and Zoning Department of Hillsborough Township. She's hired as the zoning officer, and that's going to be her only function?
Yes.
as far as I understand. David, yep.
Normally, what I've seen in the past is that the zoning officer is also an assistant planner. But do you have an assistant planner?
We do, actually. We just hired one last
So
month.
there's going to be now two separate positions. Assistant planner is separate and the zoning officer is separate.
Yes, and we have
So-
hired a new code enforcement officer too.
So, okay, so that's the only thing she's going to do is be the zoning officer at
That's,
$55,000 a year.
that's correct.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Are you going to be doing the claims list too?
Oh,
The
sure.
public?
Yeah, we got to pay the
You know
bills.
it.
Thank you.
Anyone else, any comments on the resolutions set forth? Seeing none. Did you want to say something else, Frank, before?
No, I just, well, yes, I did, actually. I just wanted to also note, although I think I said a little bit earlier, just all of the police promotions. Just wanted to congratulate them and just indicate that, Committeeman Thompson, I did go through some of the process in reviewing them, and we're very fortunate here in town that we just have an excellent crop of police officers, and frankly, we had many very qualified candidates for the positions that we were looking for. And and that doesn't just apply to the police department. I think you see up and down the resolutions are the hiring that we have here in town. And Marcia being one, welcome her to the planning department. She's been part of our organization for quite some time, and I think this is a great opportunity for her. So we're very fortunate. I think that with the employees we have, that was very clear over the last couple of weeks about how dedicated and really amazing they are. And giving people the opportunity to get promoted internally is something that we try to do whenever we can. So congratulations to all.
Thank you, Mayor. So may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jeff. And roll call, please.
Committeewoman Erickson.
Yes.
Committeeman Wright.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Delacqua.
Yes.
And Mayor LaFontante.
Yes, and welcome to all our new employees, and our congratulations, as I'll say tomorrow in person, to our promoted police officers. Claims list 2021-14. Do I have a motion to approve claims list 2021-14?
So moved.
We have a second? We
Second.
got some sort of interference here. We have a second. Do we open to public questions?
Yeah.
All right, so then we have a motion to open to any comments from the dais on claims list 2021-14? No. Okay, comments from the floor?
Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue. On the supplemental check register, that's the first page, I guess, after you flip the cover. To the Borough of Manville, tax sale proceeds, $1,396.73. Tax sale proceeds. Why is Hillsborough giving Manville money from a tax sale?
Mr. Janusik, I know we've had this discussion before, and I think the CFO's answered, but you can contact the CFO directly. I believe some of the Manville properties, whether it be sewer or whatever, they might have some kind of service that's in this town. So we do it, we collect it for them, and then we give back the money. We send it over to Manville. But you can contact the CFO, and she'll give you a direct answer exactly what that is for.
Okay, because I've seen for sewer, I've seen
I'm not saying
payments,
what
but this is
this money is
this is a
particularly for.
tax sale, so that's
Yeah.
why I'm questioning this.
So taxes were owed on a Manville, probably on a portion of property that was in Hillsborough, that's also Manville related.
So who has the answer for this?
Ms. Costa.
Ms. Costa will tell you exactly what it's for.
Okay, at the bottom, there's an amount for $149,000, $149,222.26 for lien redemption, Tower DB 7 Trust. What is that?
Sounds like a tax sale lien to me.
So there would be a tax amount owed for over 149,000?
No, they could have bid a premium. I don't know. I wasn't part of the tax sale, but they could have bid a premium. Some of them go at premium levels.
This high?
Sure.
Depends on how big the property is.
Well, it just depends upon how bad somebody wants to lien. If it's a
Right.
bank and they don't want anybody else to get the lien, they might bid up a premium. That premium just sits there. It's just money that just sits in the account, and they get it back when it's redeemed.
Usually how long would a tax lien, how long can someone hold a tax lien?
Somebody can hold a tax lien and then they have to foreclose on it. It's a statutory requirement that after a while, you got to foreclose on it.
So I'm saying, how long?
Check the statute.
What's the
I
statutory
don't have that
requirement?
information right with me, but check the statute. There's a statute on it, state law.
Okay, so no one knows that here? I mean,
I don't specialize in tax lien foreclosure. I don't specialize in tax lien
All right,
foreclosure,
because
but I think it's after a year. You got to foreclose on it.
A year, maybe two. Jeff is maybe
I think the
two.
municipality can close earlier if it's a municipal lien.
We buy homes.
page 91 of 104.
Can you tell us which document you're referring to, please?
Well, how can I don't know, because you've got different, I guess, accounts.
Because we don't have pages 91, so.
It's listed
Yeah,
at the
there's
bottom
five
of
different
each page.
documents, that's why I'm asking.
What?
There's 5 different documents, so that's why I'm asking.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you as
So
far
why
as
don't you
what I'm
just-
looking for is the document, but the numbers are at the bottom, the page numbers, which probably is easier to look at for the number than to look for the document.
Okay, what's your question?
There is a charge here. The department is Social Services and Senior Citizens, the Somerset Valley YMCA memberships. And it's for $6,050. Invoice 11115. And then there also is another invoice 11117 for the same thing, senior YMCA memberships, $6,050. That's a lot of money. What is that going towards?
Exactly what it says there.
It-
Senior members, YMCA, I think we've been doing that for the last 5
Yeah.
years.
We run a program with the YMCA to help provide programs for seniors.
Exercise programs.
So they are a partner in that, and we provide some funding so that we don't have to provide the resources through the township in order to do that. So it's a service that they provide for us, and we provide funding to.
So this isn't paying for YMCA memberships for seniors? This is, what is this paying for
Yeah,
exactly?
and I believe memberships for seniors are actually free. I'm not even sure there is a membership. But either way, no, it's for services for programs that. we run.
Exercise classes, different things that we offer.
Correct.
Okay, so you have a contract with YMCA for this?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Chairman Larson?
Yes.
Chairman Wright?
Yes.
Second Mayor Delacroix?
Yeah.
Stay a little longer?
Mayor LaPlante?
Yes. That concludes our meeting this evening. Our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 28th at 7:30 PM here. May I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'll
Second.
second that.
Thank you, Deputy. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. It is 9:10. Hillsborough, New Jersey, celebrating 250 years of a rich history.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sean Lapani, and I'm proud to showcase Hillsborough, one of the best places to live in America.
From the preserved farms that help feed the world, to the Vanderveer House, to the John R. Stott's house, restored and currently utilized for business, to the magnificent and world-famous Duke Farms,
Where you can walk or ride a bike through their historic grounds. To the iconic Neshannock Reformed Church, and just down the road is our fabulous Neshannock Mill, located right on the picturesque Raritan River.
You're invited to visit Hillsborough, a great place to live, work, play, and do business anytime. And experience over 250 years of proud history in Hillsborough, New Jersey.